Welcome to Stalingrad, take number 2. The previous game I just hosted just crashed, so I apologize to both players who will be watching this now after this game. But Willow, we see him moving his squad down the center, and I forgot to introduce Pinapples Maximus, who's on the Germany team. But we see Willow now moving his forces, splitting up into three, I believe, um, sending three to the left, four to the middle, with the MG is in the middle, and three other infantry to the right. So a good combination of forces there in this split. We see in the opposite end, Pineapple's Maximus on the German team sending the majority of his squad down the middle. I see 7 people, so it's pretty much his whole squad minus 1. Well, in here he can quite easily cap this now because Willow should have seen how many troops he had in the distance. Pineapple's is pushing up with a few grenades along the cover. Oh, there's a few guys here pushing up with sandbags to Willow's eastern flag. But Willow is holding the middle. Pineapple's troops are a bit slow to move in. But he's coming in now with a grenade. He really should move in, weave through the cover and throw grenades. And he can quite easily come through this alleyway here too and try to flank. Whilst on the left, this is actually uncontested by Pinapples, which is a shame, because this is actually the flag which is more closer towards him, I believe. So it's kind of Pineapples' spawn flag. But yeah, it's a 3 cap at the moment, so Willow's flag count is counting up. But Pineapples has now got additional infantry in the center, so it's now capping towards him. Apologise in advance if the cast is a bit slow and slurred, because I have been drinking quite a bit today. But the tournament must go on, drinks or without drinks. But there goes Pineapples shooting down Willow's infantryman in the center. Willow doesn't have much coverage in the center at the moment. He needs... I remember he did have some sort of MG here. He must have moved it or it must have died. So there it is. It actually perished to a grenade, so a great move though by Pinapples. On the eastern side here, Pinapples is pressuring the point, which is a good play, as these Moss and infantry can only possibly shoot one at a time. He should really send another guy there, so it has 2 targets to hit, and if it hits one, the other one will throw the grenade and kill it, so it needs to move faster with grenades. Now, Willow has now got some machine gunner support in the center. Shot in the back there by the MP40. Needs to throw a few more grenades around here. Maybe even knock this lumber cover because it's quite weak. But you can see that MG42 is really nailing down all the troops in cover. Middle is still capable because there's lots of cover here. Willow can sneak behind. Whilst on the right hand side here, looks like Willow has lost most of his men with 2 of the grenades of Pineapples. Very good pressure here by Pinapples. He just needs a few more infantry to come up. There's only 1 versus 1 at the moment. If he can bring up that other guy here defending, he should be able to capture the point. But Willow is quite, I guess, desperate, but he didn't want to spend too much money, so he bought 1 rifleman unit to reinforce this point. Whilst in the middle, a nice little angle there by that grenade. Molotov. Maybe it missed its target. I think it's missed its target. It's still there. This guy is having a nice warming action. I hope it's cold in Stalingrad, so he's all feeling nice and warm and toasty. On the right hand side, Willow is holding point still, but is a one-on-one action with a rifleman and an MP40. Wow, that MP40 should have taken that thing out, but Ivan here has very good aim. Middle again looks very bare from Willow. He really needs a bit more infantry again. He lost the grenade war it seems here, but even a partisan squad in the middle is a pretty good buy. Since there's so much cover around, he can easily use the partisan squad just for the grenades, as they do have the same type of grenades as normal infantry. Just their hit points are much lower. But here we see Willow with the shock infantry, pushing with a T60 on the left with assault squad, I believe. That is an assault squad. So that T70 I said is actually a T60, the one that is the has the actual AA gun attached to it, which is also a 20 millimeter gun. It can easily clear out all the infantry hiding in that ground cover, and it did just take out that MG. And here comes the flamer. Maybe this guy's already dead, so here is a, now here's a P3 here from Pinapples. It could quite easily counter that T60. This T60 needs to move somewhere behind cover, negate that P3's influence in the center, just move to the left somewhere, force the P3 to come in more. So that P3 is now just going to hold middle, it seems, covering his troops as he advances. He needs to put some of these infantry behind that stronger, sort of sturdy poles instead of those pieces of wood there. Though I don't think Pinapples has much infantry there. I think he banked for that P3, and whilst he banked for that P3, that T60 actually took out all his infantry, so he actually has no sight or no infantry support right now. So an 80 infantry from Willow would have been handy right now to just take this out while there was no infantry in front of it. But here's the P3 going to go hunting for this T60. This T60 has realized and should move out of the way really quickly. Should possibly go down the route down here, or he could bait this P3 if he had an 80 infantry guy there. But it's okay. I think Willow may be also just trying to stall the German team from markering in the center and on the right. So he's got the majority of flags. He has time to waste basically at the moment, stalling them while his P3 goes side to side. So it's 35-0 to Willow. Kill count for both of them is very even, with Willow on 12 points and Pinapples on 13 points. So Pinapples is being a bit more aggressive now with this P3. It doesn't look like he has support. He is committing one of the men of war sins at the moment. There is no infantry in front of his vehicle. There definitely should be some infantry. Willow unable to take advantage of this because he has no AT infantry. AT infantry is very good at taking advantage of situations where the opponent does not have any infantry in front of their tanks, as he is now. Nice shot through the wall. I've never actually seen these buildings get destroyed, so interesting that there can be, because some maps buildings can't get destroyed, so it's good to know that those buildings can be destroyed. On the right flag, whilst that battle in the middle was happening, Pinapples manages to capture the lightly defended right, as we now see Willow responding with an assault squad of his own to recap that point. In the middle point here, Pinapples has sent an assault squad force. Now that P3 could come in to support these troops, using the coaxial machine gun to possibly pin them down and maybe even run over these troops here, but it's getting very, very cocky at the moment. Should be moving a bit more back. Middle now is uncontested, and left seems like it's being capped by Pinapples, so that P3 just took out the MG and taken out 3 of Willow's infantry. This rifleman here, sitting here casually behind the barrels, possibly too scared to throw that flaming grenade because of these Benson barrels, whatever they are, but they look flammable. I think it's a flammable icon, so maybe a good play by that rifleman. Here's a counter there, standard counter for P3, T-3476, should be able to do the job. Taking it out frontally, hull damage from the front, very nice. As we see a charge call by Willow, mostly sending it to the left, which maybe you should split it up a bit because that's pretty clumped, and I don't think it'll make much difference if you send 20 instead of 10. It's the same kind of damage you're going to do, but he charges in there, a few of them die to the paratrooper's MG. The paratrooper throws a nice AT grenade, takes out about 6 of them, but it dies in the process. That paratrooper was a hero of the German army. An Iron Cross does await him back at the Reichstag. So Middle is now being capped by Pinapples. And the left-hand side is being capped by Willow. His charge units are still on that point. Now Pinapples does have a little bit of coverage in the middle with his assault infantry. I probably would like to see something from Willow now, since he has the tank superiority. I would probably like to see some sort of anti-infantry unit around here, like a PKP or a 60k Russian equivalent of the USA Bofors, which will pretty much lock down the entire center from anything, and possibly cause that 3 cap. But on the left, he possibly could infest this area, maybe run his infantry down on the side, hide behind this wall here, in those houses here, because this point is quite easily taken back by just moving infantry in this point here. But we see on the left hand side an assault by the German half-track with some paratroopers in tow. It is mowing down the assault squad. They're in a bad position of no cover, whilst in the middle a train has been occupied, which won't do much, but is actually, I guess, providing some sort of sight towards that area. But this half-track is actually doing quite a lot of damage. The T-34 now is responding. Maybe too late. There's a few, actually there is lots of line of sights for that T-34 at the moment, so it shouldn't be afraid to just run in. But doesn't need to, as an AT grenade from an infantryman of Willow somewhere here did take that shot. Well, on the right hand side here we see a paratrooper squad being annihilated there by Pinapples Maximus, but here comes the T-34. It's moving in, knocking up that building, going to the alleyway. There is a few paratroopers down this alleyway here which could possibly flank down there, but this right-hand eastern side flag is being capped again by Willow, and he still has that left-hand and middle flag, so it's 63 to 6. Willow is counting down quite fast. Doesn't look good for Pinapples in terms of flag usage, but in terms of kills, they're on pretty even par on 53 points for Willow and a 43 points for Pinapples, so possibly not being aggressive enough in the middle right now, because Willow doesn't even have any sort of anti-infantry killer. He could just run a squad right in and cap it. Even on the left-hand side here, Pinapples could just run a squad in, even on the side here. Even some paratroopers, he would easily outcap the charge units that are here. So he definitely needs infantry in the middle, and he's lacking infantry on the western side point. But here is a Hetzer. I'm not too sure actually. I think maybe the Hetzer might be better off versus the T-34-76. It should be better off in the max range, but it could possibly track it and flank it over this T-34, but it's running back. Safer than sorry. Be safer than sorry. I would probably back a Hetzer. I'm actually not too sure who actually wins in that battle, but I'm quite certain the Hetzer would if it's a fronted assault without the T-34 being angled. But we see Pinapples now attacking the middle flag. Willow very light on infantry or light on any infantry killers. You see the infantry is just hiding in the area, so they can't even see anyone capping that flag. So Pinapples should have done that a bit sooner. I think it's going to be a bit too late now because it's 96 to 6. Willow is still holding the left-hand flag. Pinapples is struggling to hold it. A few grenades here, but there's a paratrooper guy here which should... No, it's a Panzer Grenadier. Panzer Grenadier guy should easily cap this area, but it's in a very bad position. Just leaning its gun against the wall before, but now it's coming out. Guns are blazing. Paratrooper squad flanking the left hand, but wow, the Mosin and PPSH does mow down those Panzer Grenadiers there. But good game to Willow, and bad luck to Pinapples. Good luck in the future games.